Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here tonight with a very special Love After Lockup Word on the Street update interview. You guys may recognize this handsome dude on my screen. Welcome to Mikey from season, was it two of Love During Lockup?
I'm
Season
not for sure
five?
about Love During.
Right. I think it
5
was
for the Love After.
Right, it was season five for Love After, but I think it was two or maybe three. I don't know. Sometimes
3,
these
I think, maybe.
seasons, yeah, three, I think. Sometimes these seasons just blend in. But how have you been, Mike? That's my first question. Because honestly, and I'm gonna pull out one of my famous slideshow here. When I saw this back in June, my fucking heart dropped. Okay. I was like,
I
what the
know.
fuck happened? And then I started seeing like the shit from Chelsea talking about DV and you're going back to jail for a long time. Do you remember when she was posting this stuff?
Yeah, I do. She was
Yeah,
trying to
right?
destroy my life.
So I remember
It's
looking at all this stuff and she's accusing you of cheating, which we're going to talk about that in a
right.
minute. So, and then you posted this and I was like, "Oh my goodness," because I have already like heard the stories about Chelsea, and then
Right.
seeing that the same Chelsea pattern was happening to you, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna blow these text messages up because these were ultimately the text messages that got your charges dropped. Is that right?
Right. Yes.
So basically, you guys can see that she admitted that her and her friend lied because she was mad at Mike. So let's go back to that day. What happened
Okay.
that day at the lake?
Okay, so we was due to start filming for the show Life After Lockup.
Right,
We are supposed to have cameras at our house in 2 days. I took every bit of my savings, which was like close to $4,000, and started putting it into the house. So when the cameras got there, they would see that we fixed the house up and done some things.
right,
So we're 2 days out. We've finished the kitchen as far as painting one of the rooms, but we still have the living room and all the trim. She stays out all night with her friend Shantae, and I don't know where they're at. And then finally at 2 a.m., I find out that they're a block away from the house at a lake camping. So I go over there. I didn't get out of my car. I just like did a circle and I spun some gravel to let them know I was there, and I was pissed. And I went back
right,
home and I went to bed.
right,
I woke up the next morning to Chelsea loving on me, telling me, I'm sorry, I just needed to get away, some space, da 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 da. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, can we just get this house finished? We're going to have cameras at the house in 2 days. Can we just finish painting?
right,
And she said, yeah, let's do it. Shantae will help. And I was like, great, let's get it done. So we start painting. We paint for roughly around an hour. And then Chelsea comes to me and she said, hey, we need to go check on Shantae's tent. So we'll be back in a few minutes. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't think anything about it. But as I'm
right,
watching them get ready, they're grabbing backpacks, grabbing things. And I'm thinking, no, they're not going, going to be gone 5 minutes. They're going to be gone for a while. So
right.
I called her out on it. Dude, just let her go check on it. It's her tent. You stay
She's
here and
like
help
trying
me
to
paint.
sneak away, right? Yeah,
Right. So they leave. I got 3 paint roller pans laid out with paint rollers in them. And this paint is like $400 for a 5-gallon bucket. So I've got all this shit laid out, plastic, plaster tape, and they stay gone. It's pushing almost 2 hours. And I'm like, where the F are you at? And she's like, we're over here at the lake. I said, well, you need to get your asses back because this paint's drying in these pans. We need to get this shit finished. She's like, I'm not coming there while you got an attitude. And I was like, Chelsea, I'm upset because you're leaving while we're in the middle of doing this. And we're supposed to have
right,
cameras here in 2 days. So I went over there. I was pissed. I pulled up. I walked up. She's sitting there nonchalant, smoking weed. I blooped on her. And I told her, I was like, I'm done. I'm fucking done with this dumbass shit. And her friend Shantae, she's all getting in the middle of it and everything. And then Chelsea stands up and gets in my face and starts yelling, no, I'm done. I'm fucking done. So I was like, fuck this. I'm leaving. So I got in my car, drove to the house. I was at the house for maybe an hour and I heard boom, boom, boom. I thought, what the fuck? I walk out, it's the cops. He didn't let me say a word. He didn't let me give my side of the story, nothing. He just told me to turn around, place my hands behind my back. I was being arrested for domestic violence for choking Chelsea Gillum. And he said that there was witnesses that said that I choked her. And this man wouldn't hear me out or nothing. And I was like, dude, you're not arresting me. And he's like, yeah, I am. And I was like, you've not investigated this. He said, I've done all the investigating I need to do. I said, you've not even heard my story. And he was like, well, I've got witnesses, so I don't need to hear your story.
So did she have any marks or anything?
So in the statement, the police officer, he literally said, I observed Chelsea Gillum. Whew, it's bright. He said, I observed Chelsea Gillum's neck, and there was some red spots, but her neck's sleeved out with tattoos like mine.
Right, exactly.
So they told him that I choked her, I ripped her necklace off of her, and I threw the necklace in the lake. Well, they showed him a necklace to take pictures of. So if I threw a necklace in the lake.
How did they have the necklace? Yeah.
Right. So this cop ain't even putting 2 and 2 together himself. He's just letting these women, orchestrate all this. So
Right.
I go to jail. I've already been informed in my PO that this woman has mental problems. My light's going out. I'm just gonna leave it out.
No, yeah, just leave it. Don't worry.
That she's borderline, maybe gonna try some shit to get me locked up. And so whenever he comes to the jail, he said, I'm here to give you that fair chance we talked about. He's like, this happened. And he was literally about to put me on unsupervised parole because I had been doing so good. Right.
Right.
So he lets me out of jail.
Chelsea threatened to call your parole officer before, or had she called him before on you?
Well, her friend called me to the side and told me that I needed to watch my ass because she's known to yell rape on guys, that she's known to call like their parole officers and all that stuff. So I put cameras in the house and everything for my security in my own bedroom. And that's something I would never do, because I wanted to be like, hey, I didn't do that, So, and that day I had the cameras in my house, and they told the cops that I had been abusive before they left and all this shit. So I had all the footage, showing that me and her barely even spoke other than talking about painting,
Right.
So they're lucky they didn't get charged. On the message that the prosecutor wrote to Chelsea, she said, I'm dropping this case. She said, I'm going to advise you not to reply back regarding Mr. Harmon's allegations against you. And she's saying that because you start running your mouth, we're going to charge you, because you're already, in some bullshit because we got these messages,
False reporting and
Right.
Abuse of 911 and authorities, yeah.
Yes. And I also have messages from her and Shantae talking back and forth where Shantae's like saying she's not going to admit it because she can get in trouble and go to jail and screw me, let me go do time. Her boyfriend's in prison, let me go do some time. And this is crazy because this woman's literally trying to throw my life away for nothing because she's in her feelings about some shit, But what bothered me the most out of all of this is she went straight back to the house where both my kids are at, my daughter and my son. And she walked in. My daughter's sitting there hyperventilating and crying. Right. And she looks at my daughter and tells my daughter, your daddy's a bad man and he's going to prison for a long time. Tells my daughter this. So my daughter hated her after that. It scarred my daughter.
I could imagine. Woman. How old is she again?
She's 10 now. At the time, she was 9.
There you go.
And I have a big heart. I forgive easy, and it's always been a flaw of mine, but it's also been, a good thing. So whenever all this happened, she coerced me into thinking hey, this was Shantae's doing, she just laid the majority of it off on Shantae.
Right.
And I kind of blocked it all out and started talking to her again. I got back in, to talking. And then next thing I know, we're seeing each other again. And then we would argue and split up. And she would, be so crazy. I would be so scared that she's going to call my PO and start some shit or do something that I would always forgive her and let her back in because I was scared of this woman.
Right.
And
right.
I've been scared of this woman ever since this happened because when someone can play with your freedom like that, it's risky business. And me being
Without
in a,
even thinking twice. That's scary. It is very
I,
risky business.
I know, it blows my mind, honestly. So here recently, just in the last 2 weeks, I went to pick my daughter up from Kentucky.
Right.
And on the way back, I wrote Chelsea and I said, hey, I got my daughter. We're on our way back to Ohio. And you know what she says? She says, well, message me whenever she goes back to Kentucky. And we've got Christmas coming up and everything. And I'm thinking, what? Like, I said, what about Christmas? Like, we're going to come over for Christmas. She said, no, I'd rather not be around your daughter. And I
So
said,
at this point, you guys are living separately, right? You have your own place?
yeah, I have my own apartment.
Right. Okay. So now she's like, your daughter's coming to town. I don't want to
Yeah,
see you until the holidays are over.
right. And she says that because my daughter has hatred toward her. My daughter
Right.
acts different around her. And she has a
Right.
damn good reason to.
Yeah, she
So
does.
my daughter's feeling some type of way. Chelsea don't want to be around it. It pisses me off. And I told her, I was like, well, if you can't coexist around my daughter, then I don't want to be together. So I told her, we're done. I'm done this time, Chelsea. I can't do this shit no more. And this time, I ain't going to say exactly what I had, but I had a little bit of leverage to show her, like, hey, if you fucking try any bullshit, any more lies to get me locked up or anything, what I have right here will come out in the light. And I'm not going to say what it is, but it's something that
Right.
she shouldn't have been doing. So that
Mm-hmm.
was my way of getting away from her.
Right.
Well, what she do? She literally calls my employer, tells them that I'm doing all kinds of shit, like I'm sleeping on the job, that I'm stealing from them. I forget what all it was they told me. They told me like a list of things, and it reminded me of a lawyer, like a real crappy lawyer that's trying to sue people for whatever. They throw the
Right.
book at them.
Sexual harassment. I remember you told me earlier. It was just like a whole list of things they were trying to throw at the wall, basically.
They looked at me and told me, they said, "We're keeping this off the record. You need to." They
And I just lost him. But I'm sure he'll be back. Sometimes Wi-Fi really sucks. He was with the deaf girl. Yes. And he is back. Mike, can you hear me? Here we go. You're back.
I'm guessing that was on your end because I got
Um,
full service.
yeah,
I
I don't
can't see
know.
you.
You can't
Okay,
see
now
me.
I can see you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you were very mad at her and you said, that's it. I'm not dealing with the shit anymore. So before you know it,
You're like
someone
in and
calls
out.
your
The
job.
sound is
Can you hear
network
me?
connection lost. Please make sure you are connected to the internet.
I think that's on your end.
Can you see me?
Yep. Oh, no, I just lost you again. Technical difficulties, guys. Please stand by. Yeah, I have full bars on my end. Sometimes I hate the internet so much. I have Verizon too, and they suck. All internet companies suck. I'm sorry. In my opinion, it's just a legal racket to like take our money. I pay for like the best, like high grade internet or whatever the fuck, and it still sucks. So I'm hoping we could get him back because he's getting to the good part of his story. Will Chelsea decided to call his job and say that he stole a whole bag of tampons. Yeah. I mean, I have also, in case you guys haven't seen, I'll put the link in my description box. Um, I've interviewed the sister of Chelsea's ex that she talked about on TV that was abusive towards her. So I've also interviewed Rocky's sister Stephanie, and I'll put that interview in my description box. I did that about a year ago, and she had a lot of insight about Chelsea and how she likes to cry wolf per se, with exes and guys who are in relationships and want to leave her. Um, Here we go. Mike is back.
I'm
Hello.
guessing. I'm guessing it's on my end. I don't know. It's saying I got full bars, but
Okay. You're back, though. You're back, and I can see and hear you, and that's all that matters. And you're getting a storm. I'm getting a storm. Wi-Fi sucks, so it doesn't matter. So next thing we know, Chelsea is calling your job
I,
and telling them that you
it's
stole a whole
cutting
bag
out
of
so bad right now.
shit. You stole a whole bag of tampons. Can you hear me?
Look, you're cutting out so bad I can't hear you. I'm gonna walk outside where I get my actual signal instead of using my house Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I have to be in the car. I hope y'all don't mind.
Yeah, no, we don't mind. We don't care. We
It's
will
crazy
do
because
whatever we
I
have to do to get things done. We don't care.
let me slip some shoes on.
Yeah, don't worry. And it could be because of the storm that's coming. Na, na,
I'm
na, na,
glad we're
na.
doing this interview because the truth has been hidden for too long. You know.
Yeah, it has. And we need to get it out there.
Okay.
Go ahead, go. I might lose him as he goes outside, but it's okay. I'll get him back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're kind of frozen on my screen, but I can hear you. There you go.
All right. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so
It's a winter wonderland out here.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So, you were pissed off at Chelsea because she didn't want to be around your daughter. So you told her you were done.
Right.
And next thing you know, somebody
Told her I
calls
was
your
done.
job and says that you stole a whole bag of
Well,
tampons.
not right. Well, look, this is before. Okay, so after she said that about my daughter, she wiggled her way back in by saying, "I'll try. I'll do good with your daughter." And she came around, started doing good with her. It's a few days after Christmas, and everything's going great. And then I go to work and find out, hey, you got all these accusations made against you. So I come home. I called Chelsea. I said, "Get over here." So she didn't know anything was wrong or anything. She came over, and she sat down, and I said, today my work, they called me out on some stuff and
Right,
told me that you messaged them. And she was like, yeah, but it's because I was mad at you, and you said you had those videos of that you could
right.
put out with me. And I told her, I said, I never told you I was going to put anything out unless you tried any bullshit. And I said, here you are doing it, calling my fucking employer. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I hate to say this now, but the girl has mental problems. And it hurts me to say that because I love that girl. I've been with her for 4 years off and on, and I love her. Like, my
Right.
heart yearns for this woman, and she can't fucking get it right. She keeps fucking hurting me, destroying me, and it's literally destroying who I am as a person.
And you
So
can't let her do that because you have
right.
come so far since you come out of prison. You have a steady job. You have your own place. You have a relationship with your
Vehicles
daughter.
paid off.
There
Vehicles
you
paid
go.
off. Like,
Cars paid off.
right.
You've
I
done
got
a
three
lot.
sitting here. Three.
Right.
None of them older than a 17 model. All of them's paid off. All of them have insurance. I'm
There
doing
you
good.
go.
And I owe it to my sobriety. But I tell you what, if sobriety ain't nothing if you don't have mental health. If your mental
Exactly.
health starts going bad, so that's why I'm starting to realize I need to fucking focus on me because what I've been doing is literally beating me down. And I think
Yes.
that's one of the biggest reasons I keep going back to Chelsea is because I'm up here in Ohio and I don't have people. I don't have family. I don't have friends. So whenever I split up with her, I get lonely here at my apartment. All I'm doing is
Right.
working and coming home. And I always end up letting her back in and all that bullshit. So, but I'm telling you, like right now, she's bashing me online. She's putting posts online saying that I'm stalking her, that I'm putting GPS trackers on her, talking like a fucking crazy person, and just bashing me and don't give a fuck. Like I don't understand how
Like the
somebody can try to hurt
consequences
somebody.
of what she's saying,
I know it's
because there's
and
consequences.
it hurts me because how does somebody say they love you and then they try to hurt you? You know?
Yeah, I know. I know. So I am happy to hear that you guys are finally done. You don't need someone like that in your life. You just need like positivity. Yes, yes. Let's please. Let's talk about, and we're not going to give any spoilers, but we're going to see you on Crime Stories coming out next month, and that is
Yes.
really exciting. So,
Season premiere, first time it's ever been out. It's a brand new
yes,
show.
yes. So, how fun was that filming for that?
I
Like
had a lot of
getting,
fun filming that because when I
you're
filmed
like,
with Chelsea, she's deaf, so there's a lot of like intricate stuff going on because you're signing and you got
right,
the interpreters are signing. It's just it's a whole lot going on. With this, I got to go to my hometown, be around my friends, and be on camera, and get to express who I was, and so
right.
people can actually see my personality more in this new
Exactly.
season that's coming up.
Exactly. I'm so looking forward to that. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I'm
Like
excited
seeing
about it.
how it all started. You know what I mean? Like going back to the
To the
beginning and
roots.
seeing right to the
Yeah,
roots of
what
it, to
what
the
led me to
roots.
prison? What led me into meeting Chelsea? Like it goes way back.
Right, exactly. That's going to be cool.
And I,
So,
I, I like it because it shows what I came from and where I'm at now.
right,
It's
exactly. Exactly. So, how's your job? Where do you work? What do you do?
so I am an industrial cleaner. I work
Hmm.
for these big industrial sized buildings, and I go in and I clean, and I'm a lead where I'm at, and I love it. Like it's honestly, I make decent money doing it. I work a lot, so I'm only off every other weekend, so I'm off 4 days a
Okay.
month.
Okay.
So that consumes my life.
Right.
And but my bank accounts are healthy. My kids ain't without nothing. I'm not without nothing.
There you
I have
go.
I have my toys that vehicles, motorcycles, stuff
Right.
like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it
Living
feels
your
good.
life. You're just
Yeah,
living your life the way you want to. Didn't you get Chelsea a job there at your job?
yeah. So that's how she met my employers. I I got her the job. She worked a week, maybe a week and a half, and then quit. And she was telling me, I quit because my arm was hurting because she's had surgery on her arm. And she was like, they want me to come back, da 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 da. Like, and I'm not knowing in my head that she quit and told them the reason she quit is because she's afraid of me and that I was
Oh my
harassing her. I swear. And I vouched for her and got her a job there.
God. Right.
And
And then she's doing that.
everybody around me was like, "This is bad. Don't do it." But I have a fucking
I
heart,
would have
man. This
told you the
girl
same
didn't have
thing.
no job, and Christmas was 3 weeks away, and I couldn't watch her kids not have any Christmas.
Right.
So
Exactly. Exactly. Oh. So, do you have
being a
any
good guy always gets you hurt. I swear it does.
yeah, it does. It does. Do you have any
It does.
regrets with your relationship with Chelsea?
Honestly, I love the girl, and I wished it would have worked out. When she's great, she's great, but when she's not, oh my god, it gets bad. I watched my mother. She struggled with mental health growing up,
Right.
and that was tough on me. But it's hard when you're trying to be with somebody who's like that. Because with my mom, I was stuck there. I put up with it. I had to. But with this, I have an out. I can leave when I want to. But my
Right,
heart is so
exactly.
tender. I keep going back, and I'm playing with fire. I'm gonna get burnt.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Mike?
Well, since I've been out, I've managed to get my credit score up really, really high.
Hmm.
So I want to save money for 2 or 3 years and then purchase a property. I'll be off parole by then, and I don't see myself staying in Ohio. I want to go to more of a country place, like maybe down like close to Tennessee, Kentucky lines, because it's where I was born and raised. You know, the hills and just seeing, you know, the country, and I love Ohio. Don't get me wrong, this place has turned my life around, but I just don't see myself being here 5 years from now. I want to own a
Right.
piece of property and have a place I can ride 4 wheelers, and you know, and I can't do that here.
And do all that good stuff. Yeah.
Right.
So, so how's your health doing? Because I know a lot of fans remember you for being the one that had a stroke in prison and
Yeah.
didn't
So
get
since
proper
I've been
health
out,
care.
I know since I've been out, I've had a couple of close calls. Like I got real super dizzy, face going numb, but I keep blood thinners and aspirins on site. I carry them
Okay.
with me everywhere I go. So if I start feeling any kind of weirdness, I pop that and I drink a bunch of water, and usually it clears it right up.
That's good.
I'm
That's
bad about
good.
not drinking water. I get dehydrated, you know,
Right.
but I'm trying to get
Right.
myself in the mode of drinking more water. But it's just I don't know. I just don't. I just
I
don't
know,
like
me
water.
too. I'm not very good at drinking water, but yeah, we have to keep ourselves dehydrated. So,
Facts.
would you like to film another season of Life After Lockup if you could without Chelsea? If there was a way possible, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I don't know like what they're how they feel about that, but I am in touch with one of the executive producers, which is the biggest person there. He
Right.
messages me from time to time, "Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, how you doing?" You
Yeah.
know, checking up on me. And
Mm-hmm.
he already told me,
Networking.
I don't care if you and Chelsea get back together, we are not, we're not going down that road again. And you can't
Right.
blame them. You know, they see
Yeah.
just what little bit of contact they had with them. Like they seen how she was, and they don't want no part of it. Like she destroys every person she goes around. And she's probably going to be pissed when I do this interview, but I don't care. Like, I got to get the truth out because everybody thinks I'm some woman beater and I'm abusive. And right now
I
she's
know,
posting
and
all
they're
shit that I'm a
sympathetic
stalker. And
towards her because she's deaf. And
yeah.
my mother was
Yeah.
a deaf mute, and I'm like, listen, being deaf is not an excuse for being an abusive asshole.
Nope. And you can't say I got raped and I got beat. So I'm going to treat you like shit. I don't hear that either. I had a rough life growing up and I don't fucking treat nobody differently because of it.
Right.
So when I hear her
Exactly.
saying all that shit, like I understand some people sensitive because of that, and you got to kind of work around things like that. I completely 100% respect that, and I will do that. But whenever you're going out of your way to hurt somebody, and then you try to blame it on, the stuff that's happened in your past, you can't
Like
do
your
that.
past trauma. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Right? There's
No.
no excuse for trying to destroy somebody's life or send them to prison over lies. You just can't
So
do
if
that.
she happened to be listening right now, do you have a message for her?
Yeah, seek some fucking mental help. I love you with all my heart. I do, but you go about loving people the wrong way. You cannot love somebody and treat them badly at the same time. Those two things don't coexist.
No, they
And
don't.
no, you gotta figure out what's going on up here and fix it because whatever's going on, it's destroying the people around you.
That's a good message. That's a good message. So, how's your daughter doing now before I let you go?
She's doing great. I had her for 2 weeks. I just dropped her off today. My sister met me in Cincinnati. We met at the zoo down there, and she swapped over into their vehicle and took off toward Kentucky. We did Christmas here, Christmas before we left Kentucky, and she's going back and doing a couple more Christmases at grandparents and stuff. So she's just in a good mood and happy. And we did hair and painted and did all kinds of stuff while she was here. So it was a pretty productive trip, I'd say.
Being a girl dad must be a trip, right?
Yeah. Well, I was raised in a house full of females, so I've always been a real
Oh,
sensitive
that's right.
male
Yes.
figure.
And you're used to all the
And I think
nails
that's
and the
where I get my
hairs.
personality from. All the fans are always writing me saying, "Yeah, I'm used to all that." I used to iron my sister's hair every morning for school. We'd lay a towel down, she would lay down, I'd brush her hair out and take an iron and iron her hair for her. Like that, I was active with the sisters doing that.
Right, right. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Do you have anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Absolutely. I just want to tell my fans, thank you for listening. I hope y'all understand the situation that's going on. Mental health is a serious thing. Dealing with people who have mental health issues, it's dangerous. You got to be cautious when you do that. I hope everybody has a beautiful, New Year's. Everybody that's got New Year's resolutions, I hope you stick to them. Mine is to quit doing this. It's so hard. I'm trying.
Yes. Oh
If
my
anybody has any
God.
advice, let me know.
Yes,
But I
quitting
love all my
smoking is
fans. I
so
really do.
hard.
It's hard. I swear it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, me too. And I've tried quite a few times. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining me. It was so great hearing from you. Happy New
It's
Year,
always a
and
pleasure, Mary.
we'll be in touch definitely. I want to talk
Okay.
to you after your crime stories episode airs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
You know where I'm
we'll
at.
do
Just hit
this
me up.
again. All right, cool. All
Absolutely.
right, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thanks, Mike. I'll
Bye,
talk to you
everybody.
guys soon. Bye.
All right.